Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes. Again, we're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of, Aquarius, for the month of September 2024. Before we dive into the reading and a little bit of the astrology, I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you for joining this lovely community of fellow seekers. Um, People who are interested in making a difference in the world, people who are the people we've been waiting for. We are the people we've been waiting for. Welcome to the middle of the river, as the Hopi says, as we sort of go with the flow of evolution. So, and of course, my tried and true who have been following me for years, thank you for sticking with me. It's been quite a journey. We've gone through quite a few rapids, as it were, down the river of evolution together, and it's been interesting. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of astrology. We have a big shift at the beginning of this month. I know what you're thinking. You're like, wasn't July and August enough of a big shift? Well, the universe isn't quite done with us yet. We have your ruling planet, Uranus, stationing retrograde, first day, right out, first thing to happen, really, of significance to happen in September. And of course, you know, your ruling planet, Uranus, is very revolutionary, kind of rebellious, always sort of pushing the boundaries. However, now that it's moving backwards, it's gone about as far as it can go this year and pushed as far as it can push. And now it's going to start to back up and reevaluate some of the things that it has pushed for. Are they really worth pushing for? Is that really the direction we need to go in? Is there something else perhaps we need to rethink? So we have that energy. And at the same time, Pluto is moving back into Capricorn. That occurs, that's the second major thing that happens in September, happens on the 1st. And now Pluto is going to be spending the next, say, 2.5 months in Capricorn, September, October, and up to November 20th. And it's all going to happen in that last degree of Capricorn. It's as if the universe is putting a period on a very long sentence that began in 2008. And so there is this sense over the next couple of months that uh, hopefully we have learned the lessons that we've needed to learn through Pluto moving through Capricorn before now it goes back into Aquarius in November, where it'll stay for the next 20 years. So we can wave a fond farewell to Pluto. But it does have its function, and Capricorn is about responsibility. It's about a willingness to aspire and have the ambition to climb the mountain. And if you've climbed the mountain, then you have wisdom. It's a wisdom energy. And so this is a time when we may need to use all the wisdom of those last however many years. It's been since 2008, 14. Is that right? No, I can't do math in my head. 16, I think. So we'll see. We'll see. Actually, Pluto hasn't been in Capricorn since the 20th of January. So we've kind of gotten used to this Pluto in Aquarius energy, although it's just the beginning, guys. It's just the beginning. All right, what else is happening? You also have Saturn, for those of you who go by the traditional rulers of the sign. Saturn is your traditional ruler, and Saturn is in Pisces. It is retrograde in Pisces. Saturn in the last sign of the zodiac symbolizes that there are some things, there are some structures that will dissolve through this period. And of course, Pisces is also spiritual energy. And so we're all really right now on a spiritual mission. And the spiritual mission of Pisces is generally healing and forgiveness. So we will have to do a lot of that, which honestly is wonderful, because once you forgive, you release yourself. And that's really what it's all about, right? Why hold on to things that no longer serve? We have a new moon in the sign of Virgo. It's at 12 degrees of Virgo. That happens on the 2nd. And we also have a full moon at 26 degrees of Pisces with the sun at 26 degrees of Virgo. That happens on the 17th. That is an eclipse moon. That is an eclipse. So we start eclipse season in September. So while we thought maybe we'd get a little bit of a rest, I won't call it a rest, but certainly things are going to move a little bit, I think, more easily this month because Mercury is now direct, starting the month in Leo and then moving into Virgo quite quickly. And so scheduling things like that will be a lot easier for us. So that's kind of good news. I just heard a helicopter over the office, and I always look to see kind of helicopters, but it's cloudy, so you couldn't see anything. All right, let's go. You didn't really need to know that, but I figured you're wondering why I'm looking out the window. I told you. So we're going to use the Tower of the Spirit. This is a deck by Pamela Eakins. She has a wonderful book. Tower of the Spirit comes with a wonderful book. A lot of good information on the Kabbalah. If you are so interested in the Kabbalah, this is a great deck. The artwork to this deck was done by her mother. I don't know if her mother is still with us, because this deck has been around for a while, but it's a fabulous deck. Pamela Eakins, Tower of the Spirit, one of my personal favorites. Little bit out there, but you guys are Aquariuses, so it's apt. Six of wind, clarity. You have clarity. You're seeing something very, very clearly. And with that clarity comes a certain sense of peace, a certain sense of peace. It's as if you're focused intently, almost like a scientific perspective on something. Let's see the challenge to that. The Empress. Nature, the Empress, in a negative sense can be too much of a good thing or too much fun. So you have this focus, but there's also this challenge of, hey, baby, let's have some fun, right? Like that kind of fun. It's not a bad thing. It is a fertile time. It is a fertile time. And perhaps if that's not really your gig, perhaps it's you have a clarity of vision. The challenge is how to create what you feel you need to create, right? You see what needs to happen. How do you get there? Because the Empress is an energy of manifestation. Underneath it all is the moon. Now, the moon is a energy of deep emotions, that fluctuating emotions, emotional ups and downs. So while your mind is clear, your feelings are not. Your feelings are sort of up and down, a little bit of a roller coaster. But in the process of that, something from your subconscious is rising up. One of the things about Aquarius is it's a pretty mental sign, and it's not always comfortable with those more animalistic energies, but you can't deny your animal nature because no matter what sign you are, we have a divine nature and we have an animal nature, and we have to be able to understand it. We have to be able to know to see it and not just say, well, that's below me. I can't be dealing with that, right? So it's the mind is very focused, but the emotions, the body, the Empress and the moon, two major arcanas, are saying you have to learn how to deal with those things that you can't understand on a mental level. Okay. In the past, a lot of people talking all at once. A lot of people had a lot of opinions. You've been able to overcome this. This is, you can see there's all these snakes here. Usually snakes can be regenerative, but in this deck, in this card especially, it's about like all these hissing snakes, like everybody's hissing at you and saying things, but you've been able to overcome that. That was the past, because the present, you have clarity. So you've been able to overcome this. Okay. All right. Let's see what's in the sky. Ace of Cups, love. There's love. There's healing. So don't think that you have to do this on your own, because you don't. There's healing and love out there. Oh, people love you over, oh, pouring over. So if you need help, help is there for you. Let me tell you. The immediate future, the Three of Wands, this is recognition in this card. Something else is going to become very evident to you. It may become evident through you through pain, though. It could be that somebody who you thought you could count on, you realize that you can't. They're not exactly who they said they were. But in some way, this frees you. This frees you to develop into and through something that the time has come. The time has come for you to develop. How it's seen from the outside, cause and effect. Well, I think some people might say, well, I knew that was going to happen, because they saw a pattern. Okay. Um, but we all have cause and effect, and we all have patterns. So it's not a judgment necessarily. It's just the way it is. You focus on one thing and forget to focus on the other. It's really a reminder of balance, right? You have to balance all four parts of yourself: your earthly self, your body, your watery self, your emotions, your mind, right? And your spirit, the fire self. So all the four elements need to sort of work in a congruence with each other. Okay. Your domestic situation, oops, I think, yes. Okay, here we go. The Eight of Wands, the Eight of Wands. This is called Power Shield. This is about somebody in your environment is sticking to their guns despite it could either be despite the chaos they're causing or despite the chaos around them. You can let me know, you decide which one it works for you, but either one of those. It's not necessary. Like if things are really tumultuous on the outside, it is a power shield, right? It's the power of thought, but it can also be, as with anything, in a square like this, it can also be a prison. So you have to, if the things are happening on the outside so that you can break free from the prison, like this card suggests, then that's what that card means. But if keeping your head sort of balanced while all these emotions fly around, taking cover a little bit is not necessarily a bad thing. I guess we'll see what the outcome says. Okay. So the outcome says that no, this is the hopes and fears. Sorry. Hopes and fears, the birth of light, the Three of fire, waiting for your ships to come in. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards. But this is about the feminine and the masculine coming together and the unity. The white six-pointed star is Kether, the crown, and we have Hokmah and Bina here. So the Trinity, creation, hopes and fears. 2 3s. That's interesting. And the 3. So we have 3. We have the 3 of the Empress, the 3 of the Three of Swords, and the 3 of the Three of Wands. So that's 3 3s. Let's see what the outcome is. The Cage, the Ten of Fire. This is burden. This is the Ten of Wands, the burden bearer. Becomes too much. Okay. Your need to stick to one thing becomes overwhelming, and you can actually burn the house down with that. So I think it's important at this time that you're open to things instead of closing down. Remember I said, is it that you should protect yourself or you should open up to stuff? According to this, you want to open up. Otherwise, you can burn yourself out, so to speak. And then we have the Mother of Fire, which is much more of this is the Queen of Fire. It's a much more centering energy. She knows what her strengths are. She's at peace. She's in meditation here. Let's see if we can. The 4 of water, which is flood. This is about overwhelming emotions. And the 5 of earth. This is about feeling like you're at the bottom of something. You've gotten to the bottom of something. You've gotten to the bottom. So if there's been something underneath it, we have the 9 of earth, the zenith. Sorry, zenith, listen to me. Zenith, that's self-made person. That's you've done the work energy. We have resurrection, which is the judgment card in this deck. This is about awakening to your spiritual self, rising up, uh, realizing that you're a soul, having a human experience, and then the Emperor, having dominion. So this is real dominion. So what it looks like is that you're actually going to be going through a very, I want to say, challenging period where your emotions around those things that you're less comfortable with are going to sort of come up for you to resolve. You can't ignore something, you have to deal with it. As much as you would rather just say, I'm going to leave that for later. There is no later here. You have to kind of deal with what's in front of you. Okay, let's pull a Tree of Life Oracle card. This might elucidate things even a little bit further. I'll just leave these out in case I get any more information. All right. Psychically, I mean. Aquarius. I see a lightning bolt. Not to worry though, because lightning is maybe the clarity comes with a lightning flash. Clarity comes with a lightning flash. I feel a storm. I feel like maybe a little bit of hail, but then after the storm, it's like a new day. It's like you wake up and the air is clean and fresh again. You've survived the storm, and you can feel it's like when you get one of those after the storm kinds and the air is all cleared out, especially after like a long, like muggy point, and you can smell the freshness in the air. It's almost like there's electricity in the air, but there's a storm. The Wheel of Fortune, fortune, quest, and abundance. This is on the path between Hesed, which is mercy, and Netzach with his victory, the victory of mercy, the mercy of victory. The Wheel of Fortune path deals with our ability to stay centered through the ups and downs of life. And so that is your best bet, even when things look terrible and dire and it looks like everything is falling apart, or what is this? I thought I had it clear. I thought I knew. I thought it's temporary. Whatever that is temporary. You're on the way. If you're down, you're on the way up. If you're at the tippy top, I might be more concerned. But it's a cycle. This helps us cycle. This is called the conciliating intelligence. It guarantees that those who lose will win and those who win will lose, right? It's the cycle. It's the cycle of life. It is associated with Jupiter. Jupiter, of course, is in Gemini now, and Gemini is a fellow fellow air sign. And so if you are a Aquarius, or if you are a Gemini, or if you are a Libra, the planet associated with luck is sort of moving through your signs. So in a flowing way, we'll say in a flowing way. So, and if you're fire, it's in an opportunistic way. If you're water, it's a little bit more challenging, and if you're earth, it's a little more challenging. But that's the challenge for Aquarius anyway, I think. Great minds, but sometimes you don't feel like you got what do they call that when you get a new car and they give you the little book and it tells you all how to change the oil at this and do this, and this is the kind of engine you have. Some Aquariuses feel like nobody gave them the book when they came on this planet, and I and I totally get you guys. I understand. My South Node is an Aquarius. All right, guys, have yourself you're going to do this. I would say have yourself a great month. It's going to be, I think this month might be a little bit on the challenging side. Now, this may not be true for every Aquarius. I don't want you guys to worry. Worry doesn't get you anywhere. You just got to deal with what's in front of you. And if we haven't learned that after all this time, I think we're not paying attention. And I know Aquarius, you guys pay attention. You guys pay attention. All right. So have yourself the best possible month that you can have. You have people, you have spirit, you have people in spirit who are all on your side, all helping you support you through this time. You are going to be stronger and more aligned on the other side of this. So keep that in mind. All right, guys. I wish you peace and love. And thank you again for joining me. I'll see you next month. If you're interested in taking an introduction to the Kabbalah class, I am going to be doing that introduction to Kabbalah this month, September. There will be links below for you so you can register and join us for the class. I believe it's going to be on Thursday evenings. So you can check that out below. Okay, guys, take care. Much love. Namaste.